The direction in which social media marketing is going has really shifted. Over the years, it has evolved so much. People want that in-person community. They want to be able to come together, bounce ideas off one another. You know, our industry is 70% independent versus 30% salon owner. I think it's really important that hairdressers and salon owners understand that there are two different paths that when it comes to marketing for their salon business versus those who are trying to attract a very large global audience. There's different things that, you know, you need to be focusing on. And so
hey guys, it's Charlie, your host of the Salon Rebel Podcast. Today I have a special guest, as always, but she's actually been on our podcast before, and I absolutely love and adore her. Her name is Renee Andrews, and she has a business called Salon Societies, which really helps salons understand their social media marketing. And I love watching her grow because I feel like we've both been growing in the marketing in a marketing path for the last couple of years together and learning lots of new things and really taking on different challenges that we have and face in our industry and how we are really helping other salons in order to be seen, be booked, and, you know, really keep the dream alive of having a hustling and bustling salon that we love. And yes, this is Renee. Please tell me, Renee, what you are up to at the moment. Thank you so much for driving for an hour to come and see me, but it's not my fault. You live there.
that's fair.
But first, actually, you must try your matcha that I got you because Renee has never had a matcha.
I'm terrified.
And
my palms are sweating.
And unfortunately, I just got it next door and it's strawberry matcha, but they use like a strawberry cream and I don't know how much I like it because I'm really fussy. So let's see.
All right.
What do you
feel
think?
so much pressure right now.
You have to have 2 sips because.
Ugh.
You have to have a second sip.
Amber, you're going back to get me a mocha.
Oh no,
that is awful.
Yeah, this is why I employ an EA, just to get the coffees.
I mean, look,
we're not that much of
BTS.
princesses, but yeah, how good is it though? Just having an extra set of hands.
I love it. I love it.
All right, so tell me, what have you been doing? Where are you at with your business? Because you briefly said today on the way here, she sent me a message. She's like, yeah, things have been like, you know, better since I like closed down the agency. I was like, what do you mean close down the agency? I was like, wait, let's talk about this on here. So what are you doing? Where's your business at?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So really, it's been a really amazing start to the year because last year for me, I think there was just so much hustle in the business and so much hustle in general. My husband's obviously FIFO, and I think I started looking last year a lot and reflecting on the business and where I kind of started. And so when I started Salon Society, I had young babies who, you know, were on my hip. I had a husband that had just started FIFO when Samara was only 6 months old. So I had a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. And, you know, I started Salon Society so that I could be at home with my kids while they were babies. For me, my personal choice was I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mum in the early years while they were little. And so that's why I went into having a full-blown agency. You know, I guess at our peak, we were managing up to 10 social media accounts. This was like 8 years ago also. So social media was very different back then. You know, it was as simple as a photo and some hashtags and a very minimal sort of caption. But I guess over the years, it has evolved so much, and the direction in which social media marketing is going in the hair space, in the marketing space in general, has really shifted, and it is a lot more work to be able to do it properly. And for me, what I realized is if I can't do something really well, then I don't want to be doing it. I don't want to put my name to it. So we had 6 social media management accounts that we were managing as of last year. And as of like now, we only have 1 left. And that's intentional because what I started realizing was my kids are now in full-time school. I've evolved. My desire as a mum in business has evolved, and I want to be able to drop my kids off to school in the morning and pick them up in the afternoon and not have to be on my phone. Like no one understands the pressure and the constant being dialed into your phone when you have an agency. Like you have to be available at posting time. And, you know, there was a real big defining moment at the end of last year, and it makes me emotional because my son, who's 7, I was like, my husband was away. It's like that dinner time and he hasn't seen me all day. And I'm like, buddy, I've got to get this post up for these clients. Like, this is my job. Like, I have to get it up. And he flicked the phone out of my hand because he wanted my attention. And I just, in that moment, I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, my kids need me now. Like, they're of age where they're actually showing me what they need. And having a present mum in, you know, when I've been away at work all day, is what they deserve. And I wanted my kids. And so I'm like, I have to make sure that their needs come first. And it just wasn't how it was at all, Charlie, you know? And so, so Salon Society is no longer taking on any agency clients anymore. And I feel like I can breathe.
Yeah, it's so relatable because my kids even now will be like, get off your stupid phone, Mom. They hate my phone.
Yeah.
And it's something that I am constantly trying to get better at. I've got like the apps on my phone to get me off of it, because what happens as well is I have a job to do on social media, because I'm doing the same now, because I have, you know, we have 3 different business accounts, plus I run our church's not the whole social media, but I help with their social media as well. So you've got all these different ones on there. I go to do something for work on there. All of a sudden I'm on there for another 10 minutes scrolling.
Yeah.
Or somebody sent me a message and then I'm on that and I'm paying more attention to these other people than I am paying to my own family.
Yeah.
And you know, when your kids start drawing pictures of mom and dad and them, and their mom has a phone in their hand.
Yeah.
It's pretty alarming.
For me, it was just really confronting because I built the business around them so that I could be with them. You know, like when I had my daughter Samara, I home birthed her in the peak of COVID. And at that time, my version of success as a business owner, it had nothing to do how much money was coming in. Yes, my business from day one, I've been so fortunate that I have always been profitable as a business. And my accountant says, like, not many small businesses, when they start, they'll always start and they will take a couple of years to be profitable. But from the beginning, I always was. And so I think a lot of people will look at it and go, oh, wow, like she's killing it. But it's like, I created my business so that I could be with my children. And so, you know, I remember the night that Samara was born, because I did have her at home. I remember laying on the couch that night and I had 8 accounts that I was managing at that time. And I remember I'd worked so much leading up to have all my posts ready for my clients. And so for me, my version of success at that point of my life was being able to lay on my couch and breastfeed my daughter and put up my clients' posts and me getting money. Like that to me was like, wow, like I've literally hit success for me. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But what I think I haven't done is I haven't recognized that I needed to pivot, because my babies have pivoted. Their needs have changed. And so my business has had to change with them, because they're the reason I started it. With my husband being FIFO, he's away for 8 days. And so those 8 days, I am everything to them. And so when my husband comes home, he is incredible and so hands-on, and that's great. But like, I don't want to be on my phone. Like, it's so crazy when you see those apps that tell you how long you've been on your phone. Like last year, my screen time was at like 14 hours a day. It's like disgusting. Like I was mortified with that. And I'm like, I'm spending more time on the phone. And look, because when you're managing multiple accounts, you have to be, because you're checking in on the DMs, you're responding to comments, you're posting the thing, you've got to get trending audios. Like you're constantly having to be on. But what I realized just in like the small time that I've stopped with having all these accounts, I can already feel this like sense of like calm. Like I don't have this like hecticness when I pick my kids up from school, where I'm trying to hustle them out of school to get them in the car because I've got to get home and I've got to get work done. And that just feels really good. And I think my goal moving forward in my business is that it has to feel good for me. It's not just about, yeah, okay, cool, profit's great. But if your nervous system's shot through the roof and you're not a regulated mom and wife, what's the point? And so that's the pivot for me this year. And so it's exciting. It's a year of rebuild. It's a year of doing things that I have wanted to do for so long that I've been putting on the back burner. Even my own page, like I've run out of time all the time because my clients are paying me. And so their page and posting for them and making sure they're sorted has always been prioritized over me.
That's so common for anybody in everybody in marketing, right? Like their own marketing is not that great because they're doing everybody else's.
Well, you're just watered down. And it's like, I think as mums in business, we only have so much capacity in the day. And I think that's what I was realizing was, like, I'd say to my husband, I am so fried. I can't even think of like what I want to do for myself, you know? And so, yeah, I'm excited in the new direction that I'm going. I'm excited to not have so much crammed into my days and just have more space and be really intentional about what it is that I want to do and where I want to go.
So what is the thing that you want to do? Where are we going?
So what so I've always had, probably the last 2 years, I've had my membership that I run, and that's my in-person support that I have in Perth here, where we've got salon owners that come together twice a month. What I realized is people want that in-person community. They want to be able to come together, bounce ideas off one another. You know, our industry is 70% independent, versus 30% salon owner, traditional model right now. And so, you know, independent stylists are very lonely. They don't have a lot of support. And so we've got an incredible group of independent salon owners who come. They also are able to bring someone with them. So we've got some of our women who have got a in-house person, and so they come and we sit with the owner and we really help them to understand, what are your business goals? What are you needing to focus on? What is your most profitable service that you offer in the salon, and making sure that they're not just posting up the pretty haircuts they do, and really trying to help them to understand how to be intentional with their salon marketing that is going to get the biggest ROI for them versus being a slave to the content machine. So the membership we love. So we've got that, and we're going to focus on really, I guess, promoting that more and sharing more from the salons that we're working with and what they've sort of, I guess, achieved in it. And the other side of that is also, I wanted to launch my potty. So I'm finally going to get that done. Again, it's such a time-consuming job, and we've just not had the capacity to do that. And public speaking, keynote speaking, things like that. I love being on a stage because I love being able to share the message. I love being able to help owners understand the business metrics versus the vanity-led metrics on socials. And that's really my goal and my intention of what I want to be doing. So we'll still be doing content days. So we've got some salons that are like, I don't have the time to create the content. Can you just come in, film a heap of reels, edit them for me, and then we'll post them. So we'll still have that, but not over committing, really sort of making it very intentional around where we're sort of spending our time.
You reckon salon owners and hairdressers are getting their marketing advice from the wrong people?
Yeah.
Tell me who those are.
So a big thing we see, and, you know, full disclaimer, don't come at me on socials and start to bully me because I've already had that happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important that hairdressers and salon owners understand that there are two different paths that when it comes to marketing for their salon business versus those who are trying to attract a very large global audience. There's different things that, you know, you need to be focusing on. And so I think a lot of the time, and it's indirect that this happens, you know, we have incredible educators in the space. Not necessarily all of them are salon owners anymore. A lot of them have sold their salons to go off and pursue their education, which is amazing. But I think what starts to happen is you have these business owners that are looking up to their educators, which is great. But I think we need to be really mindful around sort of taking cues from what they do in their marketing, because they're trying to reach a larger global sort of reach so they can travel and educate. Then often selling an online subscription. So they are targeting to a very broad, network. And so because of that, the metrics that they need to reach and the metrics they need to hit are going to be different to a salon owner who's trying to attract in local business, who is trying to attract in, locals around their salon area. And so I think this is where, there's a lot of this overwhelm, because they're like, oh, I'm doing everything that, I've seen happening, or I'm following what they're doing and it's not working. And so then they feel frustrated. And then they stop marketing, and then they wonder why they're not seeing a lot of new clients coming through the door. And so I think it's really important that we, take advice from those who are actually, running pages, who've seen what's working, who are in it, versus those who are trying to teach you just to reach everyone.
It's just also so important to find out, like, what's your target market? Like, who are you trying to get this out to? Because if you need physical bums on seats, how do you get bums on seats? It's not by having a viral post go all over, Australia or whatever.
Or even around the world.
No, and it's like, who cares?
Yeah. And I think this, and I've done a lot of research around this because I really wanted to understand why so many in the space online are obsessed with going viral. Why are they so obsessed with teaching virality? Why are they so obsessed with, oh, let me help you grow your followers? It's like, you could have 100K followers, but if you're a local salon, you could never service all of them. So why do you need 100K? I think it's a real vanity thing.
But it's a dopamine hit.
It is dopamine. It's pure dopamine.
Like, it's the same reason why, like, when you're talking before about, like, there's so much anxiety that comes with posting.
Correct.
And so when we're going to do a post and my kids are around and I'm trying to post something up and I'm finishing the caption, I feel always so, like, almost rattled while I'm doing it, because you're about to post something that's public. So there's always a chance that someone's not going to like it. It's a bit scary. It's almost like a hint of, like, a public speaking element to it, right? Because you're putting yourself out there publicly.
Yeah.
So when you do it and then people like it and then you check back and people are liking it and they're commenting or they're sharing and you get filled with this dopamine.
Yes.
And then you're like, I want to do that again.
Yeah.
It's like, it's literally, I think, an addiction to feel that way and then want that, and then maybe want that for other people too. Like, it feels so good. But I think people often don't realize yet, like, you've come out the other side and gone, hang on a second. Yeah. This isn't even for you. Like, the posting and everything is, like, really changing my life in a negative way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's taking salon owners away from what is most important. And it is creating this anxiety. It is creating this not feeling worthy enough. It is creating this, my post is not good enough because it didn't go viral. And that's what I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with this lens being directed to salon owners when it doesn't matter. Because I had one of our clients the other day, we put up one of her posts, and I think the post was up maybe 3 minutes, and it had, at the end of the day, I checked it and it maybe had 10 likes on it. That post got a inquiry. That client is now booked in for a pre-consult into the salon. So, there's this real, I think, narrative that's played out is like, oh, chase the views. And it's like, great, yes, views are important, but they're not important to the point of, like, get viewed by everybody. It's important to be viewed by the right people. And so for me, this is where I think, I get so frustrated, because there is just such a focus on this vanity metric in our industry. It's like, and I sort of like to say to my clients when they come into the membership, I'll say to them, how are you going with everything? Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, well, like, I got a new client the other day, but the post, it didn't really get many views. And I'm like, okay, let's just have a conversation. It's like the education out there is, I think, really filling our industry with so much comparison, anxiety. And so then they then stop posting, Charlie. They're like, oh, it's not good enough because it's not the same as what they're doing. And so I just want it to stop for salon owners because they deal with enough. Like there's so much mental load, and I see it because I'm so close to so many salon owners in through the agency and over the years as well. And so it's like they just don't need to have that. But what they need to do is they need to invest in understanding what is actually the things that we need to be doing in our salon marketing. Like you said, nobody's teaching about understanding who your ideal client is. Like it's all just like, oh, well, let's just do real surface level hacks and tricks and try and, hack the algorithm. And it's like,
or like, how do you even get a client to convert? Like people are doing these viral posts and they go viral and somebody goes to click on your Instagram and your website's out of order. I'm like, what do you mean your website's out of order? The amount of clients or like possible, say, mentorship clients that will contact us. And I'll go and click on their link to see their website and they'll go, oh, our website's getting fixed right now. And I'm like, but you're still like, what do you mean getting fixed? Like you would have a draft, you'd have something, a landing page, or something like
something to
but
direct
they don't
the
realize how important these other things are because we've been so focused on social media that they're like totally missing the mark. Like we've got one of the biggest salons in Perth and we took our social media account and we started it when I was working with you. We started a whole new social media account at ground zero followers, right? And we have built that up and it's not got a huge amount of followers. I think people put too much importance on how many followers they have. We have the most amount of clients in our salon right now than I ever have in its entire 15 years. Yeah. And that is not that is still, social media is a part of it, but it's such a small part. It has nothing to do with how many followers we have on there, right? It's all the other things that are connected to your marketing.
Yes. Which and it's not just one. I think this is the thing as well, is salon owners have focused so much on just social media, but with AI and all the things that are moving now, you can't just have a presence on social media because to have an AI to be recommended, from AI, you need to have an optimized website. Yep. You need to make sure that your Google reviews are constantly being, nurtured. You need to make sure you respond to your Google reviews. Yep. You need to show all of your presence across all levels of your marketing. Yep. And I think this is where they sort of spend so much energy on this stuff that doesn't matter. And it's like you need to step back and actually dial into all the elements. Like one of our ladies in the membership, we sat with her on chat and nailed out her ideal client, what she was wanting, all of the key things we needed to work on. And so then we created a post around that for like a smoothing treatment. She literally, that was on the Monday. On the Thursday, she messaged me and she was like, oh my God. She's like, you're not going to believe it. She's like, we had a new client come in this week. And I was like, oh yeah. And she's like, my husband said to her, how did you find us? And the lady was like, oh, I found you on chat. AI recommended your salon. And she goes, I almost fell off my perch. She's like, we did it on the Monday and by the Thursday. And that was like 800.
What did you do on her website?
We didn't do anything on the website. Oh, okay. We just literally took and inputted who she was for, refined her. We refined who they were trying to draw in, who they were for, what services they were all about. And then we took that and turned it into a post on socials.
Okay, yeah.
And from that,
okay, wow.
They had it. And that was on the Monday. They posted it. By the Thursday, they had the lady in the chair.
Yeah.
And so awesome. I'm like, it's like, guys, like, AI is changing the game in terms of how customers are finding you.
For sure.
Customers aren't just going to find you on socials. And if
we're all trying to get off socials.
Yeah, to have a life. To be with our kids.
Who needs social media when you have ChatGPT, your new best friend?
Literally.
Yeah. I just want to talk to, we just talk to them all the time. They'd make us feel good.
It never argues with me.
Yes.
It always.
It gives us, sometimes probably some questionable advice because every idea is a good idea.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah, we had somebody come in a few weeks ago who said that they looked on ChatGPT and typed in, where can I get a balayage appointment this Saturday? And we came up and she booked the night before and that's how she ended up in our salon.
Yeah. And this is the thing, you know, salons really need to zoom out, and they really need to stop being so obsessed with being so popular on social media. And this is, you know, something that I've always spoken about. I feel like sometimes though that triggers people. But I guess for me, it's like, my question to you is, why does it trigger you? Because what is the desire that you have so badly that you want to be popular more than you actually want to be profitable? And unfortunately, a lot of the people who are, you know, showing that they are popular in the online space, how many of them are actually running profitable businesses? Because I know very well. I sat down with one of the amazing ladies at the AHC, Fiona, and she was sharing that hair and beauty sit in the top 3% for owing the most amount of debt to the tax department. And I'm like, that is so concerning to me. So here we are chasing this relevance, you know, to be popular online, yet we've got this stress of not actually running a profitable business. And anyone will know how stressful is it to be in debt or to not have, you know, money in the bank to be able to pay for things. And it's like we just can't keep going like that. It's alarming to me, and it concerns me, Charlie.
Like, do you think that when people want to be popular and have that feeling, is it just the dopamine? Is it that they're trying to impress another influencer or somebody in the space? Is it they're trying to impress their team? Like, what is it?
Do you want to know my honest answer?
Yes. I want to know what you think about that.
I think that people seek external validation to fill a part of themselves that is actually unfulfilled. And so, you know, maybe they were bullied at high school. And so their way of being like in the online space is to feel like they're the most popular by building a community where they are looked up to, because it's something they haven't healed from, you know, their high school. And I mean, like, if you think about it, so many people experience bullying in high school, like me, one of them. And so I think it can be really easy to try to seek out external validation instead of actually doing the internal work around, hang on a minute, why do I feel like I need to have so many followers? It's almost like when you're in high school, it's like, I never cared about being with the popular people. I was always the black sheep. Like if everyone was going left, I'd be going right. I never cared. But I think if you are insecure within yourself, if maybe you don't feel as confident in who you are as a person, I think it can lead you to seek out that sort of popularity at school to make you feel like you're worthy. But really, you already are worthy. As you are, you're already worthy. You don't need some app to tell you that you're okay or that you're good. It's like you already are as you are. And I think if more people actually started showing up in the online space, truly embodying who they are and owning who they are, it would just block out that noise, because we wouldn't then spend more time looking at what other people are doing. And, you know, in the first 2 years of Salon Society, I traveled around Australia for workshops, and I always start my workshops by asking, like, what's your biggest, you know, fear? What's your biggest issue you have with social media? And can I tell you, with over 200 hairdressers that I met in that time, probably about 80% of them were terrified of other hairdressers judging them in the online space. They would not put out content because they were like, I'm so afraid of another hairdresser judging me. And I'm like, hang on a minute. You're trying to build your salon business and you're worried about people that aren't going to pay your bills and allowing them to paralyze you. And I'm talking like paralysis where they just won't post, to the point that, like, even, you know, women in my membership will come in and they'll go, oh, I've got some content, but I don't think it's good enough to post. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I'm really passionate about this because I see it firsthand, and I see how mental health wise they struggle and they stop showing up for their business. And I'm not okay with that at all. Yeah. It's not okay. So yeah.
That makes total sense. I think even myself, I have those feelings around that, especially around, say, my personal brand, because now I'm putting out like all sorts of other stuff and other, you know, triggers for, you know, because my target market is now different for the Biz Tool Boutique than it was for the Nest, right? Yes. But if you don't have those hairdressers following you in the first place, you're not going to have that problem anyways, right? And I think sometimes people forget that our clients' algorithm doesn't look like ours.
Yep.
It doesn't have every hair salon in the country on their phone, right? So they're not looking through and seeing your color, which you think is not as amazing as it could be, and something slightly off, and then someone else is next door. You are just a scroll away. And do you know what? You do something like you have a spelling mistake or something stands out. Do you know what? You're better off standing out and having a mistake anyways. It's like, it's fine. Nobody really cares. And
I agree.
It's just like, I understand the feeling of being afraid of that, but like if we just think about our clients and what we're doing instead of the other hairdressers, and that says a lot about other people. Like, you know what? If people are going to come across your page because you've put something out that's not good enough, and now they've seen that, and what do you think is going to happen? Like, do you think that people are not going to want to work for you? Well, if that's a reason that they're not going to want to work for you because they're so judgmental, like, hallelujah, you have just dodged a bullet because this person has now judged you and they think that you're salon shit or whatever. Be like, that is a gift to you that has made that person look the other way, you know? So
Agree.
I think it weeds people out too. So,
and I think so many salons are so afraid to stand out. And so they avoid the work that they need to do when it comes to marketing their business. They're so focused on, trying to be for everybody. But, as you know, your marketing is not there to be there for everybody. You are there for the clients that you want to be seeing in your chair. And at the end of the day, who deems your content being good enough? Like, who is the one no one's marking that off. There's nobody there going, oh, that's not good enough. At the end of the day, you need to look at, who am I trying to attract? Are they a busy mum? Are they a busy CEO? What are they needing to see in our content that's going to make them stop and go, wow, they're speaking to me? And I think, again, this is where we've kind of fallen off is, we look at, and I go and do a lot of research, right? Like, I see hairdressers posting beautiful content, like really high level content. And when you go to the comments section, Charlie, all the people that are commenting are other hairdressers. Other hairdressers are commenting. It's not consumers, because I've done my thing of going and checking it out. So I always find that really interesting. It's like really epic, high quality content. While yes, that's what's pushed, I think at the end of the day, women want to see themselves in your content. And this is something that really bothers me, is you've got all these salons that will have a content day and they'll go and hire all these models. And now I want to be really clear here. I'm not dissing models. If you are a salon that's trying to draw in other models, fantastic. Do a content day with models. But if you are a salon that wants to bring in real women who are, not in that space, a woman who can see themselves in the content, don't get models, because you literally are going to make women go, oh, I have to look like that to be able to go to that salon. And I've had that feedback before from other salons where they've had people go, I didn't know if I was welcome at your salon because I didn't really see myself on your page. I just saw lots of pretty models. And I think, again, it's like...
So I've never had models because that's not our target market.
But again, so many are influenced by looking at, and again, influencers, educators in our space, they obviously are always getting like a beautiful model to do a tutorial, and that's fine, right? Because that's different to what you're doing. And I think salons just need to understand that there is a very big difference in how you market to draw in other hairdressers versus how you need to draw in consumer.
I think it's so much more powerful too to see somebody that's like not a model and see them have their hair done and go, oh my gosh, that looks amazing on her. It just totally opened up her face, or it did this and that. Like that, like, it's not hard to make a model look good.
That's my point.
Like, it's like, bravo.
Yeah.
It's like when educators bring in someone with like a natural level 7 or 8 and do a full head of highlights and they're white blonde, like, bravo. Like, that's not hard to do.
No, show me that on a level 2.
Show me a color correction.
Yeah, exactly.
Show me what we actually get in the salon every day.
Yeah.
Show me somebody that comes in with fine, frizzy, curly hair who wants a nice, strong blonde bob. And now what are you going to do?
Exactly right.
It's like, let's actually work on the challenges that we have. But when you start posting those things, it's so much more relatable.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, what we really need to strip it back to is stop spending more time online scrolling than what you spend creating content to drive your salon business, and stay offline. Like, I don't actually go on my phone before I'm about to post. I never go on my phone and engage and do anything. I always get on, I post, and then I get off. And there's a reason for that, because it is so easy, and this is what I used to fall into the trap of. I used to fall in the trap of going on early because we're in WA, we're behind. So everyone in the eastern states had already posted. And this is actually why I unfollowed a lot of women that were in my space, because like, I don't want to be looking at what they're doing and then feeling like, oh, is that what I should be? Like, it just messes with your head. And not that I don't support them, I wish them well, but I just don't want to be seeing and consuming,
comparing yourself
and comparing myself. I just want to stay in my lane. I just want to focus on what it is that I want to be known for, and that is driving business metrics into salon owners and helping them to understand what that looks like, how they can do that. And I think since I did that, that has just really allowed me to just stay really focused on me. And that's what I say to a lot of my salons. I'm like, I think it's amazing that, hairdressers support other hairdressers. I think that's beautiful. But I say to them, if it's getting you stuck where you're comparing, I'm like, just don't follow them from your business page. Follow them from maybe your own personal page, or like, your own salon owner page, and support them from that, because by then you've already posted on your salon page and you're not sort of getting like, oh, that looks better. So I think it's just seeing, where do you sit in how you can gauge yourself and what you need. There's no right or wrong. It's really important to follow what feels right.
And it's like, if you have somebody that, like, sometimes we'll have somebody that you can see is watching all of your stories but never engages. You feel like they're a hater. It's
a whole other
awkward,
conversation. Yeah.
Right? Just block them. Hide their story. They can go on their other account and creepily watch you or whatever. Like, honestly, like, I do that all the time. Like, if I look and I see somebody that I'm like, why is this person? Like, I had somebody's partner watching me that had left before.
Also had that.
And it had somebody's partner watching every single thing. Like, I would post 10 stories all the way to the end, and this person didn't like me, right? And they would watch it all the way to the end every single day. And I was posting a lot. I was like, this is creepy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they obviously didn't realize that I'm seeing that. But like, if it starts making you feel uncomfortable, just delete them or hide your story from that person. I mean, it might send a bit of a message, but like, it's your Instagram. You can do whatever you want. If there's people like that make you feel a little bit, or you're like, oh, if that person sees that, I feel a little bit worried about it, just block your story from them. Like, you can literally do whatever you want. It's your Instagram.
I love that. And I always say to my clients, I want you to imagine when you sit down at the end of the night and you sit down, you pull out Netflix and you pick up that remote. You are in control of that remote and what you choose to watch. You're in control of what you choose to sit down and retain and look at. And so it's the same thing as your social media. Yeah. Don't dial into things. Don't follow people that make you feel less than. Yeah. Mute them if you have to, if you don't want to unfollow them. But like, it's your page to do as you wish. And the thing is, the sooner you recognize that and you take control of that, it also allows you just to show up unapologetically because you're not constantly, like you said, worrying about, oh, what are they going to think? And it's like, it's crazy to me how many people follow your story and never, ever engage. But they always say that your haters will follow every single step that you make more than actually your diehard fans, because they're always celebrating you anyway. But those that are closely watching you are typically those who are like, what is she up to now?
And then make it weird for them. Hi, they're sorry. Then they got to go to another account and know that they've been hidden, but like they can't really say anything because they've never said anything to you before. So
what are you going to do?
It's just like, who feels awkward now?
Yeah. It's you take that power back. And I think it's really important in the online space to protect our energy, protect our mental health, to really be in control of how we're showing up, and we have that control. I think, yes, it's scary to put ourselves out there in the big online space, but I think at the end of the day, if somebody starts coming at you, you have the ability to change the way you have the ability to change, how you want to respond to that. And so if you don't want to respond at all and you just want to remove it, do that. I think it's like, give yourself permission to do that. Like you say, it's yours. Yeah.
I think sometimes it's like, you wouldn't let this stranger into your house.
Yeah. You'd shut the door.
Yeah. Like, why do you feel like they're allowed to have this access to you? They don't. No. Like, you just get rid of them. Like, it's really, once you start doing that, it feels pretty good.
It's amazing.
Like a daily flick. You're like, nah, I don't want you watching my stuff. Or, it feels weird. And it starts making it a little bit more like you do it and you're like, oh, was actually not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'll look at like, say a hid story list or something, and there's like so many people on there, and I don't even remember why I did that. Right?
Why did I block you? What did you do?
I'm like, what did you do? You must have done something or commented some stupid thing like ages ago, and I was like, I don't want to hear from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. Doesn't matter, right? Yeah. So let's talk some metrics here. First of all, I wanted to talk about AEO.
Yep.
So AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. It's where people say like that's how you get found on like ChatGPT and that.
Yes.
And you're saying that it's important for, I guess, when you're posting. What is the important thing that you're doing on your socials to get seen on chat?
Yeah, so there's a few things. So obviously chat is all about making sure that you have relevance everywhere. So it's like you're being active across all of your areas of your marketing. So like we touched on earlier, making sure that you're getting people to go and leave you Google reviews, make sure you're responding. It literally pulls from all aspects when it comes to getting a recommendation. And so if you're really strong on socials, but your website is not optimized for discovery, then you need to make sure that you're hitting more of your SEO and making sure that like the kind of salon that you are location-wise, what services you're offering, all of the things that clients are typing in to find you. So if a client's like, I'm looking for a salon in Applecross who does keratin smoothing, who is the best in that space, it's literally going to look across all areas and pull that relevance, and that's how it makes a recommendation. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you are actually optimizing every part. Like we said earlier, stop putting so much focus only on your socials. Socials is only one part of the puzzle. And so I know that probably feels overwhelming for owners, but again, I think it's like start understanding and learning what that all means.
Do you know where else that people don't post at all?
Where?
Google.
Yes, Google.
Right?
Your Google business profile, keeping that updated.
People have no idea how important that is.
It is so important.
Yeah, and you can schedule posts now on there. Yep. So you can schedule the year's worth of posts and just
make sure it's updated all the time. Like make sure that your business hours are up there. Make sure that when people are going over there, they can see what it is they need to see. And I think this is a big thing now when it comes to salons being really intentional around what they're doing is it's making sure that, all these areas are optimized. I know some of my owners have got people that work, on their Google pages to constantly. So every month they're uploading creative for them. So again, it's like, have a look and see, like if you don't understand it, if you don't want to learn it, I get that, but I think it's really important that owners at least understand why it's important, what is actually happening, so that when they do spend the money, they can understand if they're having the wool pulled over their eyes. If you don't want to do that, I understand. But I think it's really important you at least need to know, why is this important? What's it going to help me do? So that you can kind of then go, oh, okay, I see the relevance. I see why this is so important. So that's obviously your ChatGPT side of things, right? Again, clients are now asking so much into search engines. They're going into Google, and you can even just go over to Google and, for example, if you're wanting to go and promote, say, microkeratin bonds or whatever, you can go over to Google and type in microkeratin bonds Perth or microkeratin bonds. And then you can scroll down and it will say people are asking.
Yes.
And it will give you things that people are asking around microkeratin bonds. So if people are asking those things, then you should create content around that.
Yep.
And so this is where one of our clients from April last year, we started rolling out and really making sure that every single one of her posts was really highly optimized. And her salon is now completely dominating in the space of all Google images. Like, all her posts from her Instagram are now, and Facebook, are actually now showing up over on Google Images, Google Videos, under Videos on Google as well. So again, it's like, how are you able to work more smarter versus having to work harder and make sure that your content is actually landing over on different platforms, especially because somebody doesn't have to be following you on socials. If they find you from Google, that will actually then send them over to your Instagram, and vice versa. They find you on Instagram.
It's always Google first.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time it's Google first. Social media is so overwhelming.
Yes.
So I think people don't even realize, because sometimes they're like, oh, I think I saw you on social media. But I'm like, I think you probably found us on Google first. So I just looked up, like on Google, I just looked up hair extensions Perth. Yeah. And so it's like, people always ask, how much do hair extensions cost in Perth? How much should you pay for hair extensions? Correct. Does Chemist Warehouse sell hair extensions?
There you go.
How much does it cost to somebody to put in hair extensions? So you know right there that people want to know, how much did it cost?
Correct. So price transparency is so important.
So you could do a whole blog post around hair extension cost, like how much do hair extensions cost? Correct. And you could make sure that that's on your service menu. Then you could make sure you could do a blog post. Then you could have a piece of content on there. And say you have those 3 to 5 like good key pieces on there, your chances of coming up on chat are going to be so much higher. Correct. Because you've used those and making sure that you're using those keywords in there. Correct. And you've got a post. Maybe you pin it to the top if hair extensions is what you want to be selling more of. Correct. You've got a pinned post. Correct. You've got the words. Then you've got the blog post, you've got they all connect, rather than just like creating all this like new content all the time. And this is the big thing. Like, so what I would do for my agency clients is we would write like a long form blog that was SEO rich. And then we would take that and then we'd summarize that and turn it into a carousel post that was like a reduced form of the blog. Yeah. And what we would make sure we did was, say for example, it was around low tox smoothing systems Perth. At the bottom of every single page of the carousel, we would just have the text really small, like super small, like 6 or whatever in Canva, and we'd dial it right down and drop that on each page. Now, when we go to Google Images, every single one of those slides of that carousel was showing up. So like, we were like literally saturated that area, that genre for her, that niche, to the point that people could only just click on one page and it would send them straight to their socials. And so I think another big thing as well, and I ask salon owners this all the time and it honestly kills me, but I'll say to them, so where are these new clients coming from? Right? And they're like, oh, I don't know, it's referred by a friend. And I'm like, if nothing else in 2026, please become obsessed as a salon owner around understanding where these clients are coming from. And if your software that you are working with doesn't have those reports, I strongly suggest creating a SOP for your team and making sure that your team, any new client that comes in, and yes, I know they click it on the form and they're meant to add it on their welcome form, but how many of them do it? But make it part of that consultation. Once they've seen what the client wants with their hair, when you mix the color and you come back, the first
question you need to say to that client is, so how did you hear about us? We're always curious to know, and make that part of your inbuilt system in your salon.
It's so funny because this is literally what our next team meeting is about, because I do this with every single client. Especially because we do the marketing and we spend so much on the marketing. Whenever I get a new client or I'm helping someone else, I want to know what ad did they see and what made them come here.
Correct.
So that I can understand. But it gives the hairdresser, and I think it's like, we need to teach our team though too. It's like, what's in it for them to know that, right?
Well, they're gonna get more clients, and if you get more clients, you're also able to hit your commissions. You're able to get higher.
But also, we can find out why that client came there.
Yep.
What was it that made you come here?
Correct.
And sometimes they'll say stuff like, oh, I just felt like it looked really friendly. Oh, I loved the cocktails. I loved the idea of the lounge. I read all your reviews, the amount of people that I read all the reviews. Yep. I scrolled straight to the 1-star reviews. I saw how you responded to the reviews.
Correct.
And that's what made me decide. And I was like, let's talk about those 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm like, do you have any questions about, like, you know what I mean? It
Correct.
starts a conversation, but now I know what is so important for this client in their appointment today and how I can serve them best because of why did they leave their last place, where everybody's going to be so different. Like some people are like, they never gave me a coffee, or the next place might be, I really wanted advice on this and I saw this on this ad or whatever it was. But it's like, find out what made them book and then they can get that information and also have like a way better rapport with the clients.
I think at the end of the day, if you think about yourself, if you put yourself in your own shoes and you want to go and reach out and look for a new skin clinic, if you want to go and look for a new nail place or whatever it is as a woman that we're searching for, we are always searching to find where we're going to go. And so if you think about it, we all have questions. And so, at the end of the day, if clients don't see the answers to their questions on your socials, on your website, and they don't see that, it's really hard for them to get a gauge of, are they actually going to get me? Are they going to be able to, do what I want them to do? And I think it's like we focus so much on, going viral, and it's like, how about just start getting obsessed with your customer and understanding what your customer is asking for and then creating your content around them. And the thing is if one customer is asking around the microkeratin bonds, how much do they cost? How long does it take? All of these things, these are factors that they are taking into consideration around them actually booking. So that is the difference between them potentially just looking over you versus converting. Because if you've provided all the answers, then that saves a lot of time going back and forth in the DMs.
Yeah.
Some people also won't come back and forth. If they don't see, they'll just move on. So I think, again, it's like, how can you make sure that in your consultation with your client, like your first time with a new client, just be curious. I encourage them, like, be curious around understanding what led them to book with you. And I have a really great example of one of my salon owners. My clients all know, like, I'll say to them, all right, so new client came in. Yeah, great. Okay. How did she find you? And so I always make sure that I drill them on, if the client says, oh, I found it was referred by a friend, most hairdressers would go, oh yeah, it wasn't from socials. It was referred. So I have this really great example of one of my owners, and she said to me, oh, I had a new client in on Saturday. And I said, okay, cool. I said, how did they find you? And she said, oh, it was word of mouth. Now, typically word of mouth is the most valuable way of being recommended, right? It's the fastest way to build trust, because it's like, well, if my girlfriend said they're good, I'll just go there. Yeah. It's actually not that way anymore, right? So I said to her, what did you say to her next? And she goes, well, I said to her, did you book after your friend referred you? She goes, no, I didn't. And she goes, okay. And I always say to them, be curious. So she goes, well, from there, I went over and I checked their Google and read their reviews. Okay, cool. Did you book with us after that? No, I didn't. Okay, what did you do next? I went to your website. Okay, cool. She goes, did you book then? No, I didn't actually. Oh, my owner goes, what did you do next? She goes, well, from there, I went to your socials. And she goes, okay, did you book from there?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I booked from there. And she goes, what made you book from the socials? Well, she said, I saw the content that I wanted to see to make sure that I knew that you could actually give me the service that I was after. And so I was like, oh, and like this stuff like gives me goosebumps because I froth over this because I'm obsessed with the customer journey.
Yeah.
Like I want to know where they're coming from, but what is making them make that decision?
Yes.
And this is, again, like if you as a salon owner focus on nothing else in 2026, it is making sure that you are customer obsessed around where are they coming from, and don't be afraid to ask them. When we manage our clients' DMs, when a new client inquires, I'll say, oh my gosh, thank you so much, for following us. Would love to know, how did you hear about us, right? I'm asking that question, and most people are okay to answer that. And I think, again, that's what the DMs are for. It's for connecting. It's the same thing as making sure that when you get a new follower on your salon page, actually be grateful for that follower and DM them and welcome them. How are you? Thanks for the follow. If you have any questions around any services, we're here to help, right? Do you know how many times people have come back and gone, well, actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Again, it's opening that sort of door, whereas I see a lot of salons will have no DMs. And I'm like,
yeah, what is that?
That is the most
Don't
mad.
message me?
That is the most mad thing ever. Like your social media is your digital shop front. It's like somebody walking into your salon and going,
that's exactly
I'm sorry.
what I just feel like.
Sorry, I have no questions.
Yeah.
No questions.
Yeah.
Guys, like,
why would you tell a new client, don't message
no
me?
DMs? You're shutting
You
down.
can literally set up an automatic
Correct. Automation.
message. Is there an auto message now for new followers that's not connected to ManyChat?
Not that I know
I thought I
of.
heard somebody that did. I thought I had heard that, and I was like, has it just not happened yet? Because I would love one that didn't look like ManyChat.
Correct. Yeah.
You know,
Because I think
we
this
have
is-
one for that, and it is really good. Like the amount of people when they, so basically you can go on ManyChat, you can set up like a new follower one, so it immediately messages them with some details about the salon or whatever. And you can even put in there, like, you have a question, a real human will get back to you. But
Correct.
here's a few
just a
links
welcome.
for you. Just,
Yeah.
hey, thanks for stopping by and opening that door. And I guess, like, the thing is with other people having no DMs, like, if you're the other salon, it's like, keep it up there. Works for me, I
just cannot. And I get it because they're overwhelmed. But I'm like, you can't grow by not having and allowing the conversation to come in. Like the conversion happens in the DMs. Like, like you can't be saying, oh, no. Like it's like crazy. It's like that's the place to chat. Like that's where you want to, especially for a new client.
But it's like, how many messages are you really getting?
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
a couple a week? Like, come on, you're being lazy. You're on your phone anyways.
Yeah. Just respond to the client.
Just respond
Yeah.
to the client
Yeah.
or just have an automated reply of something that you can send them. Like, do you know what I mean? I mean, I wish I could put like no DMs for all the Chinese hair factories that message us every single day.
I know. Here, buy our hair extensions.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
You said there was a big change that happened last year that made it easier for clients, salon clients, to post without having so much pressure. What was that?
So basically last year what happened was Instagram and Google now basically are like you can increase your reach from your social media content. So for example, when it comes to, so one of my clients is really big in the low tox space. And so we were really making sure that when it comes to all her content, any kind of reel that goes up, there's always a text hook on there that's like for the Perth low tox ladies. And we really have gone hard on that. In the caption, we're making sure that we're also speaking to the Perth low tox woman. And what was happening was if you go Perth low tox salon, all of that content from her social media is now actually landing over on her Google, which is amazing because what then happens is obviously people who find you, and like you said, a lot of people do come in from Google. So if they find you from Google and they tap on images or videos, it literally then sends them over to your Instagram. And so then that way there, you've basically got people that don't even follow you on socials that are coming in from Instagram, but then can go and check you out. And so do you remember like all those years ago, I'm like showing my age here, but like 25 years ago when I started hairdressing, you would have like your portfolio of the work that you would do, right? Like that was before. And so the way I liken our Instagram now is like that is our portfolio, right? That is like showing what we do. And so it's really important that we still have it happening and showing what we do. But it's like the work that's going on over in Google is it's like people are coming in through Google, but then you need to make sure that what you're showing on your socials is reflective of the kind of things that you want to be drawing into the business. And so, you know, a lot of salons will say to me, oh, we do a lot of haircuts, and I'll say to them, that's great. But I'm like, is it your most profitable service, you know, doing a haircut? Where is it that you want to really increase in the salon, and what stylist do you have that you want to build up and really be promoting those? And so when we started really leaning in with our salon with that, it was insane how much they were showing up, and so many people were like, oh yeah, I saw your content on Google. So yes, they came from Google, but they're always going to Instagram to check you out because they want to see the portfolio. Can they do what I want? Can I see myself in that? Yep. Especially with like women who are blondes, women who are transitioning from being gray, who want to be more of a gray blending. Like they want to see, can it be done? They want to build that trust.
Yeah. And really important that when you have that focus, say we're talking about like Google ads or anything, that whatever people are being drawn to, it needs to follow up with the same messaging.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like if people are going on and finding gray blending, and you really want to get more of that clientele, that is a huge trending market there right now. Huge. You literally walked in today and said you're trying to go lighter to blend your grays. And I don't know if that's just like our age too, because I'm just like, yeah, me, like same with everybody else I know that's in her, your 40s and that. And you really want that messaging to be the same. So if they go and click on that, and then they click on your social, and there's only one photo of a cropped haircut, and you love cropped haircut, short haircuts, or one photo of extensions, whatever you want to get more of, you need to be hammering content.
Yeah.
And that's what that's how we built our extension clientele, was just focusing on that one thing, exactly like you said. What's our most profitable service? Making sure that we then have it lined up with an extensions page, that you have the copywriting is the same, so that it shows up again and again and again, and that builds that trust and that authority, rather than just posting something.
And this is, I think, what happens is so many salons will just go, oh, we don't really, because again, there's no planning, right? It's just like on the fly. It's like, oh, we did a cute haircut today. We'll whack that up on socials. Yeah. And it's like, you have to stop and actually plan your content. You need to look at what is happening in the quarter of your business. What is coming up? What is it that you need? Do you know that it's going to be quieter? Do you know that you're onboarding a new stylist and they are, like you say, wanting to get heavy into extensions? Well, if that's the case, don't worry about promoting other stuff. Like your color, your root gray touches are always going to be your bread and butter. Those clients are typically just going to be a rebooking in salon kind of situation going on. Haircuts the same. But the big jobs, the jobs that are going to bring you in the money, even if you don't have to post more, you just have to post content that is literally for the people that you want to see in your business. And I think there's a big misconception around, especially in organic content, is they're like, oh, I'll post today and I'll get a client tomorrow. Now, that can sometimes happen. That's not always. But you need to be like, what you're promoting 2-3 months out is what's going to start constantly showing up, in your bookings. And the same thing that happened with one of our clients. We literally went ham on grey blending, explaining it all the things. And they literally have had like an influx of inquiries around grey blending. I'm like, that's no coincidence. Like it's intentional. And so I think it's really important, Charlie, as business owners, we need to spend some time to plan what's coming up, what marketing do we need to do for that, and sitting down and actually getting that done and not posting on the fly. And when you do that, you will start to actually see a benefit versus just chucking up everything last minute because it's an afterthought. And I always say to my clients, like, you don't just go through a whole year in business and not have a plan. You're always like, okay, this quarter, we're going to focus on this. This is what we're going to do. We've got education, whatever it is. Same thing as your marketing. Your marketing needs to be in support of what your business goals are. And so this is where, again, it's the non-sexy side of being a business owner. It's like, oh, well, it's easy just to chuck something up last minute. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And how much do you think that salons should be posting these days?
I think there's no proper, like, you need to be posting. I think a minimum of 3 times a week is ideal. I think anything less than that, I think, is not ideal. But I post 3 times a week. If I'm lucky, I'm still getting stuff. I've got clients that we do 3-4 posts a week, and they're seeing, clients coming in the door. There's no right or wrong. There's no magic.
We do now. We repost a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Repost heaps.
Repurpose.
Yeah,
all the time. The message never changes.
Yeah, especially if you have done the work already.
Correct.
You could literally do the work and have 30 posts, and you could just recycle them all year without, I
literally put a story up the other day about this because I'm like, you're lucky if 6 to 8% of your audience actually sees every post.
Yeah.
You've got a post that an inquiry came from, so that shows that the messaging, the creative has clearly worked. So rinse and repeat it. If you've done it in a reel, take exactly what you've got in there, put it in a carousel. At the end of the day, it's like people think we need to reinvent the wheel as salon owners.
It's so easy when you go to post now, though, because you can go to post and put it in drafts. Then once you're in drafts, there's those 3 dots at the top, or the 3 dots beside it. You can duplicate that post. Correct. Exactly. Duplicate it 4 times or whatever, and post that same post every 8 weeks for the whole year.
No one knows.
No
one's going to be like, oh, I saw that post.
No.
Nobody.
Do you know what? We just did one the other week, and it did, Amber did so much better, didn't it? That repost one that you did. You reposted something from the Nest the other week. It's so funny because she reposted something the other day and I gave her shit about it because it was something that was in the copy that I was like, that's not true, because it was, I was like, that should be longer. It was the how often should it take to get your hair done, or how often should you come back to get your hair done? And it was a slides thing, right? And I was like, did you do this? Because obviously she did that, but I was like, this would have been like 12 to 16 weeks, not 10 to 12 or something. And I was like, I just commented on it. She's like, oh, that's a post like from like last year that we just reposted or whatever. So it wasn't even new content.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter.
No.
But I thought that she just made it. And I didn't even remember that it was content that we made.
Correct. Nobody does.
No.
Think about how much we consume on a daily, Charlie. Like, we're scrolling all the time. Like, there is no way that people are going to be like, oh my God. And this is the thing. Proper marketing is repeating your message. It's not changing it, right? It's like, if you are like, again, you've got your values that you run from. If you've got everything that you do, you're not changing what you are about. It's the same as me. Like, what I teach, it doesn't change. It's just that you need to redo the creative in a way that is actually going to just show the message in another light. So I think, if you go on my page, you will literally see I do it like 12 weeks apart. I will like take it and I'm like, that did really well. I'll just redo it.
Yeah.
And every single time I've done that, the post has done just as good or better.
Yeah. And it's not to say that you would be doing the same post in the next 5 years, but like, while it's still relevant, like, use what you've already got. Add another, some, like, you could have 3 old posts and 2 new ones a week, and you got 5 posts a week, and you're still relevant and keeping updated.
Yeah.
And nobody will know the difference.
Nobody.
I'm telling you, like, if I didn't know the difference,
you won't know the difference.
Yeah.
If you don't even recognize your own content,
exactly.
You're like, I'm good.
But like, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is really good. Like, I miss stuff on our own content all the time because I don't post it anymore. And I'm like, oh, that was really cute that you made that, or like, that was really funny, or like, that was really cringe. Like, what was that? Like, I'm like, that was posted like ages ago. It was like the second time that it's been posted and I didn't even notice it.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. That was such a good powwow. I love chatting with you about that. And I love watching you and seeing how you've like totally grown and how much you really support like salon owners and the industry, and actually coming from such a value driven just so you can just tell by your content and who you are that you have really strong values, that you really care about your clients. I felt like that working with you before, that you really cared about my business and our growth, and knowing now that I was probably maybe one of those 8 people that you were looking after, at that same time.
Yes.
And, realizing that that was having such an impact on you. And I love that you've just kept pushing and finding like what's going to be best for our industry and how much you really stand up for us. And I think as well as like, I feel like you're always standing up for the underdogs in the industry. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
Because not enough people are doing that now. And like you said, there's way too much focus on, it's like a popularity competition. And I think having someone like you that is such a force that is helping other people really makes people in this space not feel so alone and not feel bad because they don't have enough followers or their content's not good enough. And people probably don't even realize how much you are doing for our industry just by supporting us like that and making people, not feel so alone. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really important to me. It's I don't like seeing people feel like they're less than, and it's like everybody is worthy. And I think social media can really pull us away from what is really most important.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's a business tool. It does not define your self-worth or how worthy you are. And I think I've just witnessed too much firsthand how many people have, stopped, showing up, who have, DM me where they're struggling with their mental health because of the comparison. And I will always be for the underdogs because I'm just like, I want them to know that like they, as they are, is amazing. And it's just, we just need to learn this new skill. Like as hairdressers, we didn't learn marketing. It wasn't taught to us. And so it's like, you just need to work on these things and hone that skill the same way you've honed your craft with, doing hair. So yeah, thank you, Charlie, for having me as always.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
If you would like to know more about Renee, please check out our show notes. Make sure that you follow us, and you can get a hold of get a hold of Renee in the show notes. Follow her to her social media pages. DM her. She is so friendly and always willing to lend a hand and point you in the right direction if you are needing any help with your social media or marketing and how to get more bums on seats.
Love that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.